is what you got for me.
There's a bad technical difficulty today. What's going on? Durag Diaries, your people. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to your Tottenham Transfer News Show. Hosted by your boy Jords. Big up to everyone that's came over. Oh, yo. Is the audio going mad? Yes, mad. You see, it's just better connecting. It's better now. It's better. We'll do it again. We're going back out. Durag Diaries, yo, what's good, people? Welcome back to the channel. Hey, look, that's a bit cleaner, a bit fresher. I don't know what's going on. Bare difficulties. Arsenal fans, the Arsenal fans are moving mad, innit? They're trying to hack on the thing. They're trying to, yeah. We know what going. They hacked in last week to the microphone. We're getting mic issues. We're getting camera issues. They're doing mad. And no, you are right, John. The aunt can't really do the technology thing. Yeah, struggling. We're learning. We're getting better. Allow me. Innit? Like, I'm not the best at technology. No doubt about that. But look, big up to everyone that's came over from Sava's channel. Appreciate helping get me to 2.5. Big up to Sava. 1 p.m. show every single week. It's going to be on my channel next week. So for everyone that's coming through Sava's channel, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date with Sava and Jords. Let's chat Spurs. We got 99 people in the building. Let's get this up to 50 likes. That is our standard goal for every stream. So 50 likes is appreciated. But as you can see in the pinned comment, people, we have got memberships to the channel. If you want to show your extra support, be a delinquent, be a descendant, be like some of the other people we have got. Man like Elijah in the building. Man said, fire camera. Do you mean like fire my cameraman? Durag camera difficulties. Diaries. Welcome to the jab. Yeah, big up. Spurs have made a summer signing. Yeah. All the people getting on to me about my transfer news. Yeah. Yeah. Make sure you're looking now, because second signing is confirmed. Most valuable player out of J League of all time, you know. Yeah. Mad things are going in. The stars are aligning. Shout out to my boy Hooks. Sava Raid, man, like Durag difficulties. Yeah, no, the laptop camera was looking crazy. Like, no lighting, no nothing. We can't be dealing with that. We can't be dealing with that. No Durag means lots of problems. Yeah, man, look, it's crazy. Look, I told you. The black spray gang is going mad. I'm gonna need to we fixed it. It was going mad for a second. Then again, like someone was eating at my edges, cause I don't know where my new eggs is. It's mad. I need to pan up. Big up to Jords. Big up to my guy Ryan G. Drula. It's with the Sava. Yeah, we got our fellow Spurs Mo in the building. Member, as you can see, she got the membership logo next to her name. Yeah, but they actually got logos now. You got a little durag next to your name so people know you're an official member. Yeah, so man needs to catch the reader. Not for I ain't fumble nothing. As I said in the Sava Guy channel before, will you take Hayden Hackney and Sabiri PSV if Spurs miss Eze? Do you know what? We'll get onto this. I'm gonna star your message, Sanjesh. Hold on, we will get around to that when we're actually going through. We're just catching up with the chat, as we like to do. The audio definitely mashed people up. The audio. How mad? You know, I'm gonna watch it back to see how mad the audio sounds, because I can imagine some things are going in. Yeah, it does go. It goes mad. Man said this stream is crazy. Man said this stream blew my ears off and the bloody doors. I'm my bad, man. Hey, anyone that tuned in late, Well, I'm gonna have to put the intro starts 1 minute in or 2 minutes into the show. We're gonna from when that time I done this timestamp will be the intro was 2 minutes into the show. So yeah, they ain't gonna see that. Aye, halftime do-rags. Come on, eating out your head. Aye, bro, you're moving mad. You knew what I meant. You knew exactly what I meant. But people know what we are here for. It is Tottenham transfer news. And as we have seen, let me get the reports up so you guys can see the official transfer stories. Let's get this up. Sorry, bear with me a moment, people, because I have a few tabs open. So I just need to make sure we share the right one. We will need to get rid of this to get open onto this. And then we have here. Oh, wait. Oh, there we go. All right. Sharing my screen now, people. Sorry for the delay. Big up to Stu Boy who just subscribed. Make sure you're tuned in. Make sure you drop a like. Stay tuned in and checked out because we got plenty of content to come. 2 more live streams today. 2 more live streams just today, so keep an eye out for those. But Tottenham have agreed a £5 million fee with Kawasaki Frontale for Japan international Kota Takai. Kota Takai, sorry. Now, I'm not going to do the thing where people start to act like they know players because I don't know, my man. Never watched the J-League in my life, so I can't sit here and lie to you, man, and act like, yeah, I've got the low on Kota Takai. I know what he's good at. I know what he does. I've watched him play. I can't do that. It's not the case. But what I have done is I've done some research. I have looked into the player. I've also seen some things on Twitter to, we can briefly look at to see what the scouting is saying. One of those reports have been the following. His Kota Takai versus J-League under 23 centre-backs per 90. Pretty much just the best. He's the best all-round centre-back that you can get from Japan under the age of 23. Now, take this with a pinch of salt because I'm sure that there's not that many amazing players or top players coming out of the J-League. You've probably not got a plethora of under 23 centre-backs of talent over there. There probably is not many. There's probably a few decent players and not many of them will ever make it in Europe. So, look, take these stats with a pinch of salt. But as you can see there, he's first in interceptions, first in possession won and lost, first in the passing completion, forward pass completion #1, long pass accuracy #1, pass completion to the final third first, and then goals also and headed goals, he is first. Now, with him, I think one of the things that has stood out about him has been his ability to play off the left side and the right side. I've heard that Spurs are actually going to look to keep him in this summer, or that's what's been tweeted by All Things Tottenham regarding Alistair Gold. Spurs hope Takai can follow in the footsteps of other younger signings in recent years, such as Lucas Bergvall, Papsar, Destiny Udogie, with the signing also being given the green light by Frank. So Tottenham are looking to bring this player in so he can be a part of the first team, but be an option as a backup currently. Now, like I said, he can be a backup for Van de Ven or he can be a backup to Romero currently when we're looking at our squad. He can play on either side. Now, I don't think that he's going to be pushed into the team to be the third or fourth choice centre-back straight away. As we know, we currently have Danso, we have Dragusin. It looks like Davies is going to stay around. Dragusin may not be available up until October or December, depending on which report you read. So we have Davies and Danso that are the first choice backups in those positions right now. On top of that, you'll have Takai, and then you have Vuskovic, who's going to be coming back from a loan spell and is going to be a part of the setup at Tottenham. So you can already see that we've got 6 centre-backs prepared because that's what we need ultimately. Spurs could be playing with a back 3 next season. Romero could be on his way out. Spurs need to sign another centre-back to replace him. And some people are getting mad because I'm seeing Spurs have got 9 centre-backs. Why have we got 9 centre-backs on our books? First of all, Ashley Phillips, Dorrington, don't count them. don't think that they're going to be heavily a part of our squad next season. Probably see them going back out on loan or being sold. Then when you look at Vuskovic and Takai, they're going to get few minutes here and there, but you need to have at least 6 options at the back because like we saw last season, 2 or 3 of them get injured and you're left playing Archie Gray at the back. I don't think Spurs want to have Archie Gray playing at centre-back next season. And man like Jay, what are you saying? Welcome for entering the building. Whereabouts are you right now? Because we got sun outside, but it's not the same kind. Let me tell you that, my bro. It's been horrible. It's muggy. England's not the best place to be, but let us know where you're tuning in from right now. But what do you mean by the time you went live? I feel like I've been live every day recently. I know the weekends are the weekends, but I've been live quite a bit, you know. If I've not been, then my bad, people. We're coming back with more. Like we got 3 lives today. So if one wasn't enough, I'm being greedy. I got 3 lives. So look, we're back and we're better. Who the hell is this guy? Someone known. Look, they've already started. Look, the one thing I do get with this is Spurs are signing unknown players, and that's the narrative that's going to be shared. But one thing that we need to start to realize is people far too often say, oh, Spurs, go be like Brighton. Spurs, go be like Brentford. Go be like these teams that sign young players or sign players for 5 or 6 million and then sell them on for big fees. This could be that type of signing. The data, we have gone to a data-led type of recruitment. So if the data is showing that this player is a good player and can play all sides and is an option for Tottenham, then why would we be mad about it? It's £5 million. It's risk-free. He's a player who has a lot of upside. And if he doesn't work out, wow, we spent £5 million on him. But if it does work out, it's a very, very good and shrewd signing. So let's have it right. All teams sign players like this. They all make these types of signings. And then this is just another one of those, isn't it? We're trying to get a foothold of the Japanese market. I think that's fair to say. We're getting a foothold in the Japanese market, signing one of their young and up-and-coming players. We got Yamin Kyok from Korea as well. So I think there is a case of, you know, do you know what Daniel Levy's doing? For those that know, Daniel Levy is trying to be, this is exactly who he's trying to be. Daniel Levy is trying to be man like Ego Jimpachi, bruv. This is who Daniel Levy is trying to be. Daniel Levy is trying to be my man. Daniel Levy is trying to be my man, bruv. My man's trying to be Ego Jimpachi, bruv. My man's trying to sign the best talent from out of Japan. Yeah, trying to pick them up and turn them all into strikers. No, I'm joking, but he's being smart ultimately. He's being smart. He's doing what you're supposed to do. You're signing players up from smaller markets so you can maintain Spurs' hold on that type of on that side of the world, grow our fan base, but also signing young up and coming players that could eventually work out. But look, we do have a little target scouting report where someone wrote an article up on him that I wanted to go through with you guys just so we could see a little bit more about him. I know when I was on the stream with Sava, some of you guys would have seen it, but for those who haven't seen, as you can see, Takai has an enticing physical profile. He's 6'3" with a wide frame, and he's not overly slow for a player that big. However, his use of his size could improve. So similar to Vuskovic, he does have a bit of problems with his agility. He's a big player, doesn't necessarily turn too quick, but also similar to Van der Ven in that side of things. He's 1v1 defending. He's strong, he's physical, he's aerially big, and he uses his physical presence to power through defenders. As it says here, he does get pushed around a little bit when playing against strikers who are similar size to him. When the ball is in the air, a lot of strikers had success by bumping Takai or getting themselves between him and the ball to prevent him from winning the duel. That's similar to Van der Ven on that side of things. On the offensive side of things, Takai seems to be a bit more consistent in his duels. This seems to be more because he's a lot more comfortable when he can attack the ball compared to when he has to jump from a standstill. I think that's just standard from any type of defending. And when you actually look at when you look into how to defend a corner and when you attack headers and so on, you're supposed to attack a header from defensive standpoint too. You're just supposed to attack it and head it away. But I think some people that goes over their head. So no, look, I do hear you, Jay. Your overarching point. Who is this guy? He's an unknown, but we're gonna learn and find out a bit more about him together. We're gonna do it together. So look, it does say here he has a lot of technical quality. He can pretty consistently slip out of pressure. He uses feints to disguise where he'll pass the ball. So this is probably one of the reasons why Spurs are really impressed with him. We like players that can play out from the back, that are good with their feet. And if he's any similar to Van der Ven and Romero, he'll slot right into our system, whether that be with Frank or another manager in a few years to come, because we don't know how long this player could be. He's a young player. But look, remember, this report was actually written in the 11th of November. So when you see things like this, he has the technical ability to play good passes, but there's also a chance he'll pass the ball to a player who's under pressure right in front of him, in front of his own goal. No, look. Yeah, so look, you can see that he does have some bits where he needs to improve. He's not ready for the higher level as of yet. But he has some good size for him. Look, he has some serious flaws, but his physical and technical qualities are naturally going to make him attractive to teams. He also has played a lot of minutes in a very strong league at a young age. This seems like a recipe for a step up sooner rather than later. So, look, the reports written almost 6 or 7 months ago goes to show why Spurs probably would have looked at him and why they want to get a deal done for him. But at the same time, as you can see there, he's not ready to perform at the Premier League level just yet. But for those who don't know, this will be a 5-year contract with the option to include a further year. So as you know, with many of these younger players and these younger signings, it's going to be at Spurs for a long time. You probably get a new contract in a few years, but it's going to take time. He's one of these players you just have to sit back, watch, let them grow. Jun, funnily enough, calls him the Japanese Maldini, which is probably a crazy shout. Definitely a crazy shout. I don't know how I missed that. Starcrow thinks he looks promising. Still, if Brighton signed him, we'd rate it. That's the thing. If Brighton did sign him, a lot of people would be impressed by it. But because it's Spurs, they're mad. They're mad. That's just how it is, isn't it? It's how life as a Spurs fan goes. I was speaking about it with Sava. People are always angry as Spurs fans. They always are, man. But moving on, let's catch up with the chat because I know I'm a bit behind. No, these guys are some dickheads, I swear. Champions League going to be fun with this. Jay's always crashing out so early. Jay's definitely a crash out. If Jay was online, if we ever done a show with Jay would be crashing out. He'd be crashing out. Takai needs to bulk up. He's built like a twig currently. I mean, he's a tall, young player. He's only 20 years old. And like we said, he's 6'3". So young, tall, still growing into his body. I'm sure that's probably one of the reasons why. As Sava raid, Romero and Van der Ven are injury prone and unreliable. Dragusin is out till between October and December. We have Danso and then Phillips and Viscovic and Dorrington aren't ready. No doubt, Archer, no doubt. I'd like to see Phillips back in the squad. I mean, I hear you. I definitely hear you. I just don't know if that's the right way to go. Don't think he's good enough, but I hear what you're saying. I'm on the way to Italy, but don't arrive till tomorrow because we move at slow speeds. Watch that poop cruise on Netflix. That could never be my shit. Nah, no doubt about that. Look, you're living life. You're living life, man. Whereabouts in Italy are you going? You going to like the coast of Italy? Well, I can only imagine you're going to the coast of Italy. You're on a fucking boat, bruv. So no, Jay's living life. Jay's living life. 5 to 10 million. I'm fine with the youth. No big loss if it doesn't work out. Still make same money back at least. If you're spending 30 mil plus, that should go towards established, proven players. He kind of to be looking like a young Shohei Ohtani. I don't even know who that is. PFC TV, big up to you, my bro. Man said we're all in this together. Everyone, what you stand and I don't really know the lyrics, but I know that bit. We are all in this together, man. We are for real. Bergvall was unknown. Let's just see what happens. That's it. Like Starcrow, let's see what happens in preseason. He may play some minutes for Tottenham. He may not have no minutes for Tottenham next season. I'm not stressed about it. Not looking into it too much. I'm just like, this is another one of those signings similar to when we signed Bayliss, similar to when we signed Sarr, Dogi, Bergvall. It may work out. It may not work out. Let's just see. It's 5 million, man. Yeah. Starcrow, Berg. Don't. Hey. Jay. You see how you got that spanner next to your name? Yeah. Any corn for the Viking. Yeah. Tore Finn. Spanners can go on. Yeah, moving mad. Bergvall, Tore Finn is not overrated. He's done a lot this season, actually. He's done a lot. He won Player of the Year for Tottenham. So, hey, you say he done nothing. I'm saying he done something. He definitely done something. Away from that, he likes to slide under players, even in the penalty box. Danso, VDV, Dragon, Phillips, Takai, Romero, we are sorted. I wouldn't say we're sorted. I think Romero could be on his way out, so we may need to bring in another centre-back option, but we have some players there, no doubt about that. We've got decent options around right now. I think we'll be fine in the Champions League. Aren't we in pot 1 as well as Europa League winners? I thought that too, Musings, but I've been told Tottenham are going to be in pot 2 or 3. I don't necessarily know. I'm not going to lie. I don't necessarily know at the moment what pot we're going to be in, but hey, let's just see. I generally don't know. Like, I thought Europa League winners go into that pot, but yeah. Big up to people for getting us to 50 likes already, though. This is what I like to see. We've got some real ones in the building today. We got some real ones in the building. 20 minutes into the show, already on 53 likes. Usually I'm sat here telling people to like it up until the last 2 minutes of the show. So no, do you know what? Big up to this. Hey, this is some real ones in the chat, you know. We might have to make some more. We might make a few more moderators in the building. I might be feeling extra nice. We might be making a few more moderators. Well, we did have a question earlier. Big up to Sanjesh for the question. He said, as I said in the Sava Guy channel before, will you take Hayden Hackney and Sabiri if Spurs miss Eze? They seem like a more realistic target. I don't think Hayden Hackney and Sabiri are a credible or viable option as a replacement for Eze. If we're getting a replacement for Eze, it needs to be Semenyo or like I said, I want Eze and Semenyo, but if we're not getting Eze, we need to be getting players at that level that are ready to have an instant impact into the first team. I can't say that I've watched Sabiri too much, but Hayden Hackney is a good player. But I would liken his signing similar. I would liken his signing similar to when we signed Archie Gray, and I don't think that he's necessarily at the level required to perform in the Premier League on a consistent basis. So I'm not gonna lie, I feel like with regards to Hayden Hackney, it's one that we could miss out on. It's one that I'd be happy to miss out on this season. I wouldn't be mad about it. I wouldn't be mad about it. Like we can get that later on if he proves himself a bit more. Let's hope we get Eze, bro. Then we need another left back. And on that news right there, people, not sure if everyone has seen, but this Eze stuff has been heating up. It's been heating up. Spurs really look like they might actually go out there and get Eberechi Eze. Now, for those who haven't seen already, let me zoom in. Sorry, I know that zoomed in a bit. Tottenham are closely monitoring Eberechi Eze and have already gathered all relevant information. However, he is just one of the several players they are considering for his position. At this stage, they have not activated his release clause and are not close to doing so. Still, Eze remains as one to watch for Spurs. Eberechi Eze, man, like people should know by now. Me, huge fan. I'm a huge fan of the player. I think he is one of a kind in the Premier League, being that he's a maverick, man. He's a type of player who you bring into the team and instantly he takes that team to another level. Like, he is so good. You're probably going to hear me speak a lot about Eze this summer being one of the top options for us. And there's just so many things about him. I like how he's versatile, can play off the left, can play in the middle. He just won a trophy. I mean, hey, people, we tasted blood. We're speaking a little bit different. I always say on a lot of our shows, we speak a little bit of a different dialect now. Yeah, we speak fluent trophy. Yeah, so we need players that know how to understand what that means, what it means to lead a team to a trophy. I can't have none of the Harry Kanes of the world that join big teams to win trophies. I need players like Eze who lead smaller teams to trophies. So I think Eze, for me, one of the top options for Tottenham this summer. Last year, again, Tottenham tracked him very closely for the majority of the year, trying to bring him in the summer, but a deal couldn't be done, probably because they got rid of Elise. But Crystal Palace seem more than willing to do a deal for Eze this year. The rumours have been that they're willing to negotiate for a deal to be done in installments, as opposed to doing the release clause, which is at around £68 million. But they say there's some difficult clauses in there. But Eze brings a lot to Tottenham. And when you compare him to some of the other options that Spurs are looking at, for me, he's one of the players that stand out. But when you compare him to Tottenham players, let's do a little bit of a comparison between what we have in Tottenham currently, between him and this is difficult. They always put his stats in bloody weird. He's as a forward for Crystal Palace. Let's do him compared to who's it? Pedro. João Pedro, that is. Pedro. João Pedro, he's not showing up. All right, we're not going to do the stat comparison because the players aren't showing up that I want to show up. They're not showing up. Let's go into another website. Let's do this. FBref. Go on FBref so we can get some of the stats up regarding him so we can look a bit more into Eberechi as a and the potential signing to Tottenham. So as you can see here, people, sorry, I'm sharing a wrong screen. Eze stands out at a few things. Stands out at his shot creating actions at 82 percentile, 4.69 per game. He stands out with his shots in total because he's a player that likes to take a lot of shots. He likes to take a lot of shots on goal. His assists in the 80th percentile, 0.28 per game. Also, his take-ons. This is where he's class. His take-ons are really, really high at 2.33 per game. Now, if you look at some of the other stats, it makes him look like he's not a great player. But this is why you do have to watch football with your eyes because you can scroll down. Is it down here? Oh, this is when they do all of this stuff. This is what we need to do. There. So we can look a bit more deeper into the scouting report here. And we can actually look at his numbers here when it comes to the actual passing and the breakdown of his passing. You can see here, again, he has a good passing range when it comes to the long, short passes. Again, with the pass types, look, dead ball passes, pass from free kicks through. I'm seeing green, Irish green. Shout out to, yeah, if you know, you know. Shout out to Flight. I'm seeing greens. But no, more than anything, look, we watch football with our eyes over here. We watch football with our eyes, and Eberechi Eze has proven more than enough why he should be a player for Tottenham. Who would you guys like? Is Eze one of your number one options for Tottenham? Does this news, does it excite you? I mean, the one thing that stands out to me with this is that it says he is just one of several players they're considering for his position. Now, I'm a bit concerned that Spurs are considering him as the same option as a like of Semenyo, as the João Pedros, as the Kuduses, and some of the other players we've been linked to, because Eze should be on his own as he's a Maverick. We sign him, and then we look at some of the other players. I don't think we should be signing Eze or some of these ones. It should be Eze and. How many players, how many marquee signings do you think Spurs need in those forward positions? Big up to Durag Diaries, my guy Hyper. Every single time. Smash the likes, people. As he says there's no doubt about it. Make sure you smash the likes. I'll really hope we buy Eze, a great player who will make us better. Spot on, Messi, no doubt about it. Winners go to win it, isn't it? That's a Jay. You're thinking how I'm thinking. Yeah? Winners go to winners. He's going to want to play for a team that wins trophies. Eze's stats last season don't do him justice at all. Remember that free kick at the start of the season that was wrongly disallowed? Yeah, no. Eze's not a stats man. Like, again, we looked at the stats. They look decent. They're not blowing you out of the water. There's some good stats there. But more than anything, he's a player you watch on the eye, innit? Like, you know what you're getting from him when you watch him on a week in, week out basis, what type of quality he brings to the squad. I like Semenyo more than Eze, but both ballers, both right Mavericks that we need. Semenyo and Solanke already have a relationship. Front three of Semenyo, Solanke, and Eze would be the stuff of dreams. No doubt about it. Semenyo, Eze, and Solanke would be serious. It'd be serious. It's like, yo, Spurs are moving in the right direction. We're starting to make some good quality signings. And on that note, because Spurs are moving in the right direction, we have been seeing some more links to Brentford players. We've been seeing those links, and one player that has been heated up, because this is actually the first time I've seen it from a credible journalist. Thomas Frank is keen on bringing Christian Norgaard to Tottenham. This come from the standard Sam Tubeto, who's a fairly credible journalist for English news. And as you saw there, he's a journalist that specializes on Brentford, Fulham, West Ham, Crystal Palace, so the smaller England teams, smaller London teams. Norgaard. What do people think of Norgaard in the chat? Chat, let me know where you guys are at with the potential of this player. But let me tell you about it a minute. Let me tell you guys what I think. He is a bit, when you look at the age profile, he's a little bit older than some of the other players we're looking at. He's 31 years of age. He's probably not going to have a long-term contract at Tottenham, and we won't see him here for a long time or anything like that. It's not like he's going to be our long-term solution to our central midfield role. But, think of it like this, people. Frank played with Norgaard, and he took Norgaard's game to another level last year. I think Norgaard really, really impressed in that DM role. It's just one of the other players that you've seen him really push on and make a solid player in that system for Brentford. Now, he is limited. There's a few things where you say he is limited with how he plays, but as a CDM, probably does what you need from your midfielder, especially when you compare him to what Tottenham have had this season. I'm going to throw up that comparison now in a second. But I look at this one and I say, Thomas Frank needs someone to bring from Brentford where he can have someone who familiar with his system, someone who's a consistent performer, and someone who can bring experience to the squad. Christian Norgaard, 31 years of age, could be the player that Archie Gray will be the understudy to, because we know Thomas Frank was really interested in bringing Archie Gray into Brentford before. Tottenham hijacked that deal at the last moment. He was going to be the understudy to Norgaard. Bring Norgaard to Tottenham. He can be the understudy to Norgaard and work his way into the first team eventually in that midfield role. But as of so far, he's not ready for it. So we need someone that can be. I think Norgaard presents as a good option for that. Now, when you look at the players we've got, they are very, very similar to Norgaard in the sense that when you look at these maps, their defensive actions are pretty high. Their duels, again, are pretty high. They make some good with the progressive passes. The key passes, some of them not so high. They're not very much ball carriers. But again, they make some forward passes and they're all round good. Now, when you compare, these are the ones that we've done, Bentancur and Basuma, you can see, obviously, he's the older of the three, but his duel percentage is higher than that of Bentancur's. Now, look, as you can see here, their minutes played are significantly less than Norgaard. So for anyone anytime you guys have watched this show, you know that I always love to caveat. And you know what? Let me throw Sarr in here as well, because Sarr would have played. No, we'll leave Sarr because he didn't play that position this season. You know that these numbers are slightly inflated due to the, nearly playing half of the minutes, especially with Basuma. Defensive actions, he's high. 79.2. He matches Basuma, not as high as Bentancur, but again, I think if this evened out across the season, I don't think Bentancur would be as high of him. He's not a ball carrier. So with Basuma, he's a ball carrier, so he progresses. Progressive carries are a bit higher, but Norgaard is extremely low in this sense. Hayden Hackney is more similar to Norgaard, and it's a good shout. Like San just said earlier, Howling. Hayden Hackney is worth a look at, but I think because we got Archie Gray, I don't really think it's worth going to get another young DM for them to compete next to each other. Forward passes, you can see here, he excels ahead of the other two players. He likes to move the ball forward. He controls and was a pace setter, but also someone that broke down the play for Brentford last season. Key passes at 30.6, which is a pretty decent number, and the progressive pass at 61.8. So, look, I know you can see it. You're going to be like, oh, his numbers aren't higher than Bentancur's. Like I said, Bentancur played a lot less games, so with it averaged out, you'd see a better player. But what you can see here when you look at the graph by himself, he excels on the defensive actions and progressive passes and the forward passes and his duels. He's not a ball carrier, but that's where he excels in his side of the game. So Christian Norgaard, for me, this would be a perfect player to bring in simply because his experience. Also not going to command a big fee. You're probably looking at around 20 to 25 million, maybe 30 mil at a push. At a strong push, it may be 30 million pounds. But for someone where we need to come into that 6, have an impact into the team, bring the right experience, I think Christian Norgaard could be that guy. He really, really could be that guy. Biss carries the ball to nowhere. He needs to get carried out of White Hart Lane. Mr. Balloon Dior himself. I'm ready to see the backside of him. I'm ready to see him leave Tottenham, Christian Norgaard to be the replacement for him. And you could probably get a similar fee and command a similar price range for both of them. So even looking at it like that, like you've got to take you've got to take what you can get and sometimes make smarter acquisition signings. And with Christian Norgaard being a player Frank is familiar with, I think this could be a really, really good deal to get done. But let me know in the chat once again what you guys think of the potentiality around Christian Norgaard coming to Tottenham. Is it a signing that Spurs need to make? Is it a signing you guys would be impressed with? Let me know. Did Wolfie say anywhere he's getting EZE? Any receipts? Ridwan, he did. 12th Man show last week. He did say, if you look at the clip that I released the other day, I think you may have some of the stuff in with regards to the EZE. Obviously, I cooked them on Botafogo, which I can't even lie. This is what I did want to show you because I'm seeing the comments. They think I didn't see. I saw the comments of that video. They're trying to cook me. Oh, Jords, those players get into your team. Jords. I was just saying that they are doing that. Let's watch this. Nottingham Forest are doing Make-A-Wish Foundation work. Let's have it right, Ridwan, yeah? And people. Because this is what the players they're signing are doing. They're signing not just one player, not 2, not 3, but potentially 4 players from Botafogo. 4! How greedy. Was 3 not enough? But this is what their players were doing before games. Their players are doing building, bruv. They're signing builders. They're Salivo signing builders. Botafogo players are building a brick wall in their goal. Their defenders aren't good enough, so they're building brick walls to stop the other team from scoring before the game. Now, people will know, obviously, they won this game. They somehow, some way, they beat PSG and they got the 1-0 win. But that's besides the point. This isn't a team that anyone's going to... Because someone put in the chat, in the comments, this is a team that won the league, and all this rubbish. I'm sorry, but in this current season, we're talking about the Brazilian league, they're 8th. So they're mid-table. Yeah? They're mid-table. So you're signing, you're signing 4 players from a mid-table Brazilian team. But they want to try and cook me and say they won't get into us. We don't want players from Botafogo, bruv. These man some Make-A-Wish FC job seekers, bruv. These man are on JSA, bruv. Why are they doing building? Like, what is going on in the Club World Cup right now? What is going on, bruv? Botafogo, come on, man. What in the builder is going on? Like, if they like the sidemen so much, you might as well sign KSI as crew for real. Like, they went and signed Edu's sidemen. They're doing the Lord's work. That's Edu's gone back to Brazil. He said, yeah. Because I don't know if people know, Edu's not even allowed in Brazil. Edu's been banned. He's not allowed in Brazil. So man's gone back there, done some sneaky dealings to try and work out, be like, let's chuck some money at this team. We're going to sign a few of your players. Nottingham, forget about Marinakis. He's not going to worry. He thinks he's getting some Neymars. He's getting the next Neymars. No, my man's name is Jesus. So he's going to bless our team and walk on water. Shit. Like, that's what he thinks. This is the dream that he's selling. Nobody wants Edu. And nobody wants these players. So he's doing some crooked dealings, man. This is typical Brazilian. They're doing some crooked dealings behind closed doors. Yeah, this is exactly what's happening right now. It's exactly what's happening. I used to scout in Japan for Crystal Palace at times. KT is a promising centre-back. I'm gonna say I believe you, H-Town, innit? Because just like my boy Hooks, someone called Flashboy in his chat come in and said something last week and gave some mad predictions, and I think it might come right. So I'm gonna believe you. I'm gonna believe you, H-Town Rocket. Even though it does sound a bit, yeah. I used to scout in Japan for Crystal Palace. It's sounding a bit mythical, but I'm not gonna call you a liar. I'm not gonna call you a liar, but it's sounding like it could be a bit mythical. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Just gonna throw that out there, innit? This is a UK. Trust me, there's typical Edu peddling and dealing his youths. Matt, do you know what it is? He's wheeling and dealing, man. He's at this point, he's a trafficker, bruv. Man's trafficking people from Brazil into the UK and finding them jobs. That's what he said. Make-A-Wish Foundation. They're out here giving out jobs and lives. These guys are giving out careers. Big up to Nottingham Forest, though, because look, I ain't on to no one that's doing charity work. If you're doing charitable work, big up to you, man. Wolfie was like, Arsenal scouted them all. Do you know what? There is actually a player. There is a player that we did need to do some scouting on. We did need to do some scouting on. And I can't even lie. I did say to Wolfie that we weren't going to do no scouting on this player, but the way we was going to scout him, we can do this together, people. We're going to watch Forest Fan TV for some scouting, people. Yeah. Let me know. Richard Rios has been linked with a move to Tottenham. Tottenham have said that they're interested in bringing this player in. Potentially a hijack. Yeah, we're looking at a potential hijack of the Forest ground and that. But Richard Rios, should we watch Wolfie's video to do some scouting? Let me know if you guys want to do that before we head out. Are we gonna watch some of Wolfie's videos to get some scouting in? Because clearly, Forest, he said they used Arsenal for some scouting. We're gonna use Forest for some scouting. Little bros, we're gonna little bro them right now. No, you didn't. You got some sloppy second use. Didn't even get sloppy second use. They just got wash players. Let's watch it. Yeah, let's watch it. Let's watch some of Wolfie's scouting. Let's watch some of Wolfie's scouting, people. Let's see what they are saying. Sorry, there is going to be ads up because I didn't obviously, yeah, you know. But look, make sure, no. First of all, I always get onto you guys to do this. Make sure first you smash a like on the video. Yeah. Well, look, let's see what Wolfie's saying. Let's see what Wolfie's saying.
Sometimes there are just players that when you're linked with, your instant reaction is go get him. This was my reaction in January, and this was my reaction in the summer gone by.
But do you have the facilities for that, big man? Do you have the facilities for that, Wolf? If Spurs are involved in that deal, most definitely not.
Because Forest have been linked with an absolute beast. Welcome to your Forest transfer news.
An absolute beast, people. He's an absolute beast. So we're not going to see Wolfie change his mind on this. Yeah? We're not going to see him change his mind.
Good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your latest Forest news. And this one's an exciting one, because I'm going to talk to you about two players that I would sign up today, yesterday, 6 months ago, because I love them both, and I want them both at Forest. So if you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit that like button. Let's even get 62 likes. So check that like count. If it's below that, make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well. And don't forget to check out this huge giveaway from Football Prizes, where you can win this signed framed Forest shirt, a signed shirt.
We want to get
as well in the summer window. And now Forest have sent out scouts to monitor the one, the only Richard Rios. You guys are all like, who? For those of you who've been watching all the videos, you know.
Okay, yeah. Oh, okay. Do you know what? One thing I will say is I remember Wolfie's not the first person to do analysis on this player. We saw Ash Matic. So big up to Ash, Spurs Kings TV. He was talking about Richard Rios back in January as well. But it's a beast.
Rios. You guys are all like, who?
Who?
For those of you who've been watching all the videos, you know I'm a massive fan of this.
Get me him right now. Yo, you man see that free kick down? Yo, chatting to me.
This player, 25-year-old Colombian, plays as a midfielder. You can class him as a CM. You can class him as a CDM. He can do both. And he's 25 years old, from Colombia, and plays for Palmeiras. Yes, that team we got Danilo from, that we got Scarpa from, that team that Ant bought the shirt of, that team as well. Forest are in again, scouting away and looking to pick up these.
They just can't get enough. They just can't get enough of these Brazilian Colombian. Do you know what it is? I think I know where it is. I think we've figured it out, people. I think we've figured it out. Forest know their level in Europe is not so high. The level in Europe is just not so high. So when you're looking at it right now, let's just do that. So when you're seeing them make some of these moves for some of these players, it's like, okay, they know a lot of the players probably aren't going to know who Nottingham Forest are, but they play Premier League football. So you say, Premier League? Yes, I play Premier League. I play. Yes, you play. I play Premier League. Okay. Yeah, that's what they're doing in the Brazil. Eddie's going there. You say, you want to play the Premier League? We play Conference League. You want to play in Europe? Yes, I play. So that's what he's doing. He's doing all of that stuff. He's trying to tell them, you're going to be playing in the Premier League. And now it's, you're playing in Europe. You're going to be playing in Europe against some of Europe's biggest teams, not knowing that they're going to Mogadishu, Azerbaijan, and fucking Budapest to play half of their games, bro. Like, Forest, is that a garden? Trust me, man. Aye, if you get this, Wolfie needs to hide. He definitely needs to hide.
These potential bargains in the South American hemisphere. Now, he's not a bargain because of his release clause. And I think people are overhyping this release clause. He has an £85 million release clause around his neck, £100 million, €100 million release clause, if you want to convert it into euros. But as I've told you before, in January, Forest were getting close to striking some kind of deal. No formal approach or bid was put in, but Forest were heavily.
So Forest, no formal approach was put in, but they were close to getting a deal done.
Linked with him, and there was rumors at the time that about 20 to 25 million pounds could have got this deal done. Now, there are some other clubs in for him. The likes of Manchester United, the likes of Spurs are in for him. They're all interested.
Oh, so he's acknowledged it now. Because before he wasn't trying to acknowledge. He's acknowledged it now. He knows. He knows better than anyone. Man United, Tottenham, Ren, you got no chance. Know yourself.
But that release clause seems to be scaring a lot of people off. And in the summer before that, after he'd been in Copa America and lit it up, Forest were interested in him, Leicester and Everton were. So the caliber of clubs is, I was going to say better, but Spurs and Man United. So it is what it is. Why do I like him so much? Because this guy is a bit of a freak. He's really skinny looking. Looks like he's got kind of no muscle on him whatsoever, but he's just super strong, man. And he gets stuck into the tackle. He, for me, is a really good deep-lying, playmaking, ball-recovering midfielder who pretty much has it all. He's got a great pass forward as well. Forward, yes, he passes forward. He's really good at tackling, really strong in the tackle, bags of energy. He's
you see this energy that he's got? He's bags of energy, really strong, really, bro. Wolfie's getting cooked when this player don't sign, and he signs for another Premier League team. I'm just gonna run back this clip. We're gonna run back this clip because Wolfie is doing a lot of gassing right now. He's glazing hard on this player. Look, we'll give him another minute. We're gonna give him another minute before we leave him to it. But look, we'll get to the 5-minute mark.
For me, works as well because there's one little extra trait that he has. and that's free kick taking. Now, he doesn't score them all, but he does bang some absolute beauties in as well. I would say on the attacking side, though, he doesn't tend to pitch in with too many goals. Looking at his stats, he's played 98 times for Palmeiras and scored 7 goals. And at international level of Colombia, he's played 23 games and scored 2 goals. But goal scoring isn't really why you would bring Rios into your team. So that's the background on him. How would he work at Forest? I think if Forest were to go in for him,
we don't care. We don't care. I'm sorry. You shouldn't care either, Wolfie, because it ain't happening. He's not going to Forest. Yeah, he's not going to Forest. So quite frankly, Wolfie, I'm here to tell you that we don't care. He's not going to work at Forest. So let's just clarify that. Want to make it very much known. Nobody cares. It's not happening. If Spurs and Man United are in, like you said, we already know what will be happening. But people, look, big up to everyone that has tuned in. This has been the first of many live streams today. Boardroom Talks, 9 p.m. Spur in the moment. Back 6:30 with Luke. I'm gonna create the live stream now so people can see that. I am going to be sending you over to. I'm gonna send you over to Big Six Bants, where Mons and Cass are talking some football stuff. So make sure you drop DRD Read in the chat. Let them know you've come over from your boy. And yeah, people, smash the like on your way in over there. Smash a like on your way in out over here. And until next time, which will be in a few hours. We'll see you then. Peace, people. Big up.